What's good, fam? Happy Tuesday. Today is probably going to be one of my favorite videos to make because I love speaking on this topic and I love what this is able to do for people, right? This is something that I learned. It's called the 5 basics of being able to get anything you want in your life, right? The 5 basic principles on how to get anything you want in your life. Super simple. If you guys have ever listened or watched or listened to Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau, you guys know what I'm about to go over. If you don't have what you want, then you need to listen to it regardless. If you've never heard of what I'm speaking of, then you need to listen to this over and over and over again, and then also go and listen to Your Wish is Your Command as well. So, right, I was told from my mentor, let's put this into perspective, I was told from my mentor, from my, group of millionaires that I was learning from in 2018, Nick, you have to listen to this. You have to listen to it over and over and over again. You shouldn't stop listening to it until you have everything you want. To this day, I still listen to it every now and then. I've probably listened to it over 20 different times. I believe it is around 12 hours long. I probably listened to it more than 20 times. But it's about 12 hours long, and it goes over the 5 basics of getting everything and anything that you want in your life. Right? I'm going to actually review these with you guys right now. So write this down, tap in, listen, because this is some powerful stuff. And if you really understand it, you'll be able to get absolutely anything you want. Right? Super simple. The 5 basics of learning and the 5 basics of getting absolutely anything that you want. Right? Number 1, super simple. I know you're going to be like, oh, wow, don't judge the simplicity of what I'm saying. Judge what it could do for you, right? Or just think about the long term here, right? So the first basic, right, is who do you listen to? Right? Who do you listen to? Who do you follow? Who do you listen to? Who do you work with? Very simple. Very, very, very basic, simple. And you need to be truthful with yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. You cannot be untruthful to yourself, because that's doing yourself a disservice when you're doing this exercise. But the first thing is, who do you listen to, right? Who are the people that you're listening to? Only listen to people that have what you want, right? Only listen to people that have the results and have the physical item, the luxury, the body, the success that you are looking for, right? Let's say you are making $5,000 a month and you have a dad bod. You don't want to listen to anybody who's making less than $5,000 a month or whatever, less than the goal that you're trying to get. And you don't want to listen to anyone else that has the same body as you. Right, very, very, very simple. Why? Because that kind of goes against the entire point here. So, first thing is, again, listening to people that have what you want, right? If you want to make 6 figures, you listen to people who are making 6 figures. You also have to ask yourself, how are they making their 6 figures and what are they doing? Are they making their 6 figures at a job? Are they making their 6 figures at a 9 to 5? Is that what I want to do? So it's not just about the money. It's about the time freedom, the financial freedom, the, everything in general, right? You look at me, for example. Okay, Nick makes X amount of money, multiple 5 figures a month. And, oh my God, those are gnats. Crazy. Wow, these are gnats. Wow. I gotta walk the other way. That's why I started walking the other way. For example, Nick's making this much. Nick's got this aesthetic. He's got under 10% body fat. I want that. I'm gonna listen to him. I don't know. This video is not supposed to be about listen to me. I'm not saying that at all. But it's just an example, right? For me, I'm making multiple 5 figures per month, let's say. Let's say I want to go and make multiple 6 figures per month, which is my indeed goal, is to make multiple 6 figures per month. I'm going to listen to people who are multimillionaires making 100 to 200K every single month. I'm not going to listen to anybody else that doesn't have that. I'm not going to listen to anybody else about my body that isn't doing better than what I am, which is very little, to be honest. But again, this is not a video about me. This is just an example, and I'm putting you guys into my perspective here. So number one, who do you listen to? Only listen to people who have what you want. The time aspect, the time freedom, the financial freedom, the money, the body, everything. Only listen to those people. Everyone else you could talk to, you could hear out, you could hear them. Don't listen to them. Very different. There's a big difference between listening and hearing. Okay, guys. Let me restart everything. Not restart everything, but let me restart number two. So, we went over number one. We went over number one. Who do you listen to, right? Listening to only people that have what you want. That's the first step. The second step is, what is your teachability index? That's the number two. What is your teachability index, right? And you might be like, what's an index? Well, how does that work? Well, how does the scale work? So the way that the scale works is that it's a scale from 0 to 10. Your willingness to learn. 0 to 10. You have to rate yourself honestly. If you're not, then have that person that you're listening to, who you listen to, rate you on a scale of 0 to 10, willingness to learn. Right, your willingness to go out there and learn new information, the willingness to not stay ignorant. Number one. Number two, your willingness to accept change. That's your second rating. The first rating is your willingness to learn. The second rating is your willingness to accept change. 0 to 10 on your willingness to learn, and 0 to 10 on your willingness to accept change. Are you willing to learn the information and learn the new system? And are you willing to accept change, that your way isn't working and that somebody else's way will get you to where you want to go? 0 to 10. If you are a 10 on the willingness to learn scale and a 10 on the willingness to accept change, you are 100 out of 100 and you should be able to get anything you want. If you are a 6 on the willingness to learn and a 10 on the willingness to accept change, you're not 100, you're only 60 out of 100. That's the total scale, right? If you're a 5 and a 5, you're 25 on your willingness to your willingness to learn scale, right? So you multiply those numbers together, right? So 25 isn't that good. So really, you got to be above 8, 9, or a 10. Realistically, you need to be a 10 out of 10 on both, so that you could be 100 on your teachability index. Teachability index, coachability index, whatever you want to call it. You could ask the person that you're listening to, what is my teachability index, bro? Ask that guy that you're learning from that has what you want, right? Remember, listening to only people that have what you want. Ask them, what's my teachability index? They might not know what it is. They might, whatever. Willingness to learn, willingness to accept change. Take the numbers. These gnats are gonna kill me. Take those numbers, add them, multiply them together, and that's your number out of 100. You need to get that as close to 100 as you possibly can. Those are the first two. Number 3, going on to number 3. Remember, there's 5. Going on to number 3 on the 5 basics to getting anything you want. Number 3 is your training balance scale. Now you're probably like, what the heck is that? Right, your training balance scale is super simple, right? On one side of the scale, you have your thinking, you have your desires, you have your goals, you have your vibration, you have the energy, you have your thoughts and your emotions, everything that's going on in your mind, right? Thinking about that success, thinking about it, manifestation, you could call it energy, vibration, all that is important. You need that. You need a good mindset. On the other side of the training balance scale is the action, the physical, the movements, the strategies, the plans, the activities, the how. The why and the how, right? Now, basically with this, there should be a balance between the both. There should be a balance between learning, well, not learning, the energy, the spiritual side, and the physical side. Thinking about it, manifesting it, and actually doing it. Praying about it, doing it. Writing your goals down, taking action, right? You need to have the scale. You need to focus on the scale, right? You need to focus on balancing them both. Super important. You need to focus on the thoughts. You need to have the energy right, and you need to have the action, the plan of action. If you only have one and you have no action, you're not going to get there. If you only have action but no goal, you're not going to get there. Right, so your trading balance scale is super important. That's number 3. Number 4 is going to be the 4 steps of learning. Now we're getting into some important stuff here. Now we're getting into some stuff that actually makes sense. Right, the 4 steps of learning. Write this down, guys. We had number 1, who do you listen to? Number 2, what is your teachability index? Number 3, your training balance scale. And number 4, the 4 steps of learning. Right, now you want to be able to become profitable trading, be very good at public speaking, be very good in the gym, whatever it is. These are the 4 stages of learning. Number 1, unconscious incompetence, meaning you don't know what you don't know. You're unconsciously incompetent. That's fine. At one point, we're all unconsciously incompetent about certain things, right? You're riding a bike, you don't even know that's even a possibility. You don't even know that you could ride a bike. You don't know. You don't even know about bikes. You're just unconsciously incompetent, right? Number 2 is you're consciously incompetent. Now you see somebody riding a bike, and you know that you don't know how to ride a bike. So you're consciously incompetent. So now you know that you don't know. So when you're learning something and you don't know that you don't know, and you have an ego, you're never going to get past level 1. You're just going to be stuck at level 1, and you're never going to get what you want in life because you're unconsciously incompetent, and you don't have your willingness to change, etc. Consciously incompetent, you know that you don't know. So that's a step. Now you know, okay, there's something more there. I know that I don't know. Number 3 is your conscious competent. Now you know that you know. If that makes sense, right? You're consciously competent. Now you know that you could ride a bike, and you're conscious about it. You know that you could. You know that you could do it. You're consciously competent, right? You start riding a bike, you start thinking about it, you're consciously doing it, and you know how to do it, right? You're not consciously incompetent, knowing that you don't know how to do it, but now you're consciously competent. Now you knowing that you could do it and that you're doing it, right? This is the stage of, learning something, learning a skill, taking a trade, whatever it is. You're in the gym, you're making it happen, but you got to think about it. You really got to think. Okay, let me balance. Let me do this. Let me ride the bike. Let me not fall. Let me be smart. Whatever it is, right? You know that you know. 4th is the most powerful one. It's called unconscious competence. It happens and you don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to think about it. You're automatically posting on social media. You're automatically making money. You're unconsciously doing it. You're just doing it. You could ride a bike without even thinking about it. You just hop on, you're just doing it. Simple. You don't even have to think about it. You do the calls, easy, boom, done. Very simple. You're working out at the gym, it's routine. It's routine, it's easy, it's simple. Right? It's unconsciously competent. You're unconsciously knowing. I'll repeat that. You're unconsciously knowing. So when you're first starting out with something, you're unconsciously incompetent. So you don't know that you don't know. Then you're consciously incompetent. Now you know that you don't know. You know that you have no idea what's going on. You know that you don't know that you can make money this way. You know that you don't know that this is the way to growth. Then you're consciously competent. Now you're actually doing it, and you're consciously knowing. Man, you're consciously knowing. You know that you know. Then that fourth level of learning is unconscious competence. This is the level that you want to get to in anything. Right? This is anything. People work in their job, they do the same thing over and over. Eventually, they're unconsciously competent. I go to the gym, I'm unconsciously competent. I could do a Zoom call, I'm unconsciously competent. I can make this video, I still have to think about it. But for the most part, I'm unconsciously competent when I just, go on social media and post and do all that. It's very simple to me. Unconscious competence. It's the most powerful stage of learning. It's the most powerful stage of doing, because once you are able to do things without having to even think about it, because it's that easy, because you've done it so many times, everything else is on autopilot and everything flows to you. So to recap, actually I forgot about number 5. Number 5, master the first 4. Very simple. You master the first 4 steps, which are: number 1, who do you listen to? The 5 basics. Who do you listen to? Listening to people that have what you want, and only people that have what you want. Number 2, what is your teachability index? And within that teachability index, what is your willingness to change? What is your willingness to change what you're doing already? And what is your willingness to learn? Your willingness to accept a different reality, and your willingness to learn about how to do that. 0 to 10, multiply them together, 0 out of 100. That is your teachability index. Number 3, your training balance scale. Balancing the personal development, the mindset, the thinking, the positivity, the goals, and the vibration. Balancing it in the middle, where the other side is your actions, your physicals, your doing, your making it happen, your productivity. Your productivity and your actions, and your goals and vibrations and energy. If you could balance the 2, you'll master your training balance scale. And then number 4, the 4 stages of learning. If you could really master these 4 guys, you find who to listen to, you increase your teachability index, you're willing to do whatever it takes and learn and accept change. Your training balance scale, understanding its vibration and energy, and also doing. And then taking those 3 and understanding the 4 stages of learning, unconscious incompetence. You don't know that you don't know. You don't know anything. Number 2, conscious incompetence. You know that you don't know. Number 3, conscious competence. You know that you know. You know that you know. You're doing it. You're aware. And then the 4th one is unconscious competence, the most powerful stage of learning. It happens and you don't even have to think about it. And the last one is master the first four. If you can master those first four and add them all together, then you'll be able to, I truly believe, get whatever you want in life, because I've used this and I've learned this over and over and over again. And this is my first time trying to teach it. Yes, I'm using my phone, but I've learned this and I've understood this since I was 18, and I still use this to this day. I still listen to Your Risk is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau, and I would recommend that. Might be hard to find. If you join my Discord and DM me, maybe I'll show you how to find it. But those are the 5 basics of life and how to get anything that you want. So that was today's talk. My bad about before. I had to get out of the outside. I was like, I'm gonna go for a walk and talk about this. Now I have a gnat in my eye, like gnats flying around. I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't focus. But anyways, happy Tuesday. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Master these basics. Review this video as much as possible. I was told to listen to it until you have everything you want. And it is working. I will say that. So I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow. Peace.